Hi, my name's Sue Ellam, and for 25 years I've been reading the tarot cards, and I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which is based on Greek mythology.
And I'm Carrie Beleno. I don't think there's a coincidence that Sue and I have had a professional turn 20 plus years ago in this work. It was a bit ahead of the game, but here we are now. I'm a spiritual life coach and intuitive Reiki master teacher, and we're collaborating to give you practical advice from our years of doing this work and tapping in. So I have a question from my bucket of questions. Ooh, what is spirituality?
Oh, yeah.
How many hours do you have?
Not what a lot of people think it is, I suspect.
Yeah, I suspect we are going to get a very different answer. I agree.
Let's see what the answer is. Okay. Spirituality, what is it? It's following a vision. You know, when we embark on anything in our lives and we're given a vision and we follow that vision, that is a form of spirituality. There are provisos which are coming later on with that. You know, a vision of world domination isn't in it. You know, but it is holding on to that vision and going through whatever it takes to bring that vision to fruition. The vision is about nurturing of yourself and other people. So it's not, as Carrie would say, woo-woo. It's not floating on clouds and, you know, and kind of unicorns and feathers and things. It's not, so say, what a lot of the New Age stuff is kind of based on. It's about people's hearts. It's about having a vision to do good things, new projects, things that will benefit humanity, things that will guide people, things that will bring abundance, prosperity to everybody. That is what spirituality is, and it's much more down to earth than people imagine. It, you know, people who have good hearts, you know, sometimes people feel like they need to go and help maybe drug addicts, or they go and live in communities where there's a lot of violence and things. They are being they are working on their true spirituality, because what they're doing is they're impacting other people's lives to the discomfort of their own at some stage. So it's not about being comfortable, you know, and just sitting in a chair and meditating all the time. You know, it is actually, meditation is useful. I'm not saying don't do it, but it's not all about that. It's not all about. It's bringing spirit to earth for the benefit of other people, and this is about prosperity and Mother Earth, and not just people, animals, the plants, the whole the planet. It's being practical. It's what Carrie and I are doing. We're trying to do, you know, practical answers to spiritual questions. So this is what spirituality is. It's practical. It's doing things to help others. It's also listening to other people, not thinking we know it all. And this is the problem that I think afflicts some, you know, people that are kind of hailed as gurus, hailed as channels and different things. You know, some I'm sure are pure channels and they will give exactly what they're given. but it's very difficult not to pass it through a filter of their own experience. So we have to be prepared to listen and also discern what resonates with us. Just because someone is well known and has done really great work doesn't mean that the work they're doing now is the same as it, the same qualities it was maybe a few years before. People change, and channels and gurus are human as well. And when they receive lots of money and power because of their status, it takes somebody superhuman not to be affected by that. So I'm not saying don't listen to people, because there's some really good information out there, but do try to be discerning and listen to all of their messages, and maybe just take on board one or two, because they aren't perfect either. But we have to be prepared to listen to other, other people's belief systems as well, to other people. I know religion is a structure, I understand that, but there are many spiritual people who are within the churches and within the religious structures that are doing some really good things for other people. It doesn't take away, from their spirituality to be within a structure. Some people can function very well in that and make changes from inside as well. Listen to them. Just because they're of a different religion or different race doesn't mean they haven't got anything to teach us. So keep your ears open. Be prepared to throw everything up in the air and make big changes to your own life, because spirituality isn't about what other people are doing. Spirituality is our own responsibility to do the very best we can. And if we find that there's something within our own life which is blocking us, be prepared to throw things out the window and see, it's like rearranging your living room. Coming in the dark, you could trip over the sofa because it's in a different place. But we learn by creating change within our own lives. We open up to new experiences. So be prepared to make those changes and maybe make life a bit uncomfortable for yourself as well as other people. A spiritual journey isn't for kind of weak people. It takes courage, because some people do think, you've gone a bit crazy. But here we have gathering money and resources, keeping the home fires burning. This card is a bit like the Empress, which came up before. There's both Earth Mothers. And you don't have to be male or female to be an Earth Mother. This is about being there for other people, being a port in a storm. When someone has chaos in their own life, then you can be that person that they come to, they can feel safe with. You can sit them down, give them a cup of coffee, a piece of cake, wrap them up in a blanket until they feel strong enough to go out into the storm again. So you can make that difference. So for me, spirituality is practical help for everybody, not just people you think deserve it, or animals, or particular certain animals you think deserve it more than others because maybe they're fluffy and pretty. Alligators need help as well, and so it's practical. Spirituality is practical help, and it's not being up in the clouds at all. So those are the cards.
So make sure you love the alligators in your life as much as you love the fluffy bunnies.
Absolutely.
So I've written about this topic a lot. I'm sure I've had podcast episodes. So I wanted to take a look. I looked up the dictionary definition of spirituality while you were talking, because it came through and I couldn't remember the exact words. And they're nearly what you said in the cards, of course. Spirituality is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. So we have bastardized the word spirituality in the New Age movement, which I think is coming to a close. I know it's coming to a close. We are all spiritualists. If you're listening to this, you are a spiritualist. You are concerned with the human spirit or the human soul. Everyone who is trying to free children at the border, everyone who is trying to pass legislation for racial justice, you are all concerned with the human spirit and the human soul and the release of the joy of being human. You are all spiritual. You are all spiritualists. So it's time to stop differentiating you from them or us, we from you, because if you've got any bone in your body that is concerned with the human spirit, you are spiritual. So some have chosen it to be a little more defined in their career, but I think for the most part, we are all, if you're conscious, if you're at all awakened, if you're listening to this, you have decided that the human spirit matters and the human soul matters. So welcome to the club. It's growing bigger. You are spiritual. I love that statement that you made, Sue, about us spiritual, concerned with the human spirit folks being the port in the storm, because I think our example matters. I think that I'm hearing a little call to action here. I'm hearing a little bit of if you are concerned with the human spirit, but you're only concerned with some, meaning those who agree with your perspective, be cautious about that. Be cautious about spewing your opinion as the only one that's right. Pro-life, pro-choice, Democrat, Republican, all of this nonsense going on social media right now. If you are concerned with the human spirit and you are concerned with spirituality, then your call to action is to allow everyone to express their spirituality and express their human soul the way they see fit without judgment. So I've said this multiple times. I've said it on my Facebook Lives, but be cautious about the judgment in the support of the spirituality, the human spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I've said enough.
I have too. So please subscribe and share, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye for now.